Listen to me. Close your eyes for a second. I want you to imagine the sound of panic. It's not a scream, it's not a siren. In Formula One, panic is silence. It's the sound of a garage door closing when it should be open. It's the sound of a press officer saying no comments when they should be celebrating. And right now, that is the sound coming from the Red Bull garage in Barcelona. We have been waiting for this moment for 3 years. The year 2026. The new regulations. The dawn of the Red Bull Ford era. It was supposed to be a coronation. It was supposed to be the moment Christian Horner proved to the world that he didn't need Honda, that he could build an engine himself. But after 1 week of testing, the dream is starting to look a lot like a nightmare. Let's look at the facts. Not the PR spin, but the cold, hard reality reported from the track. Max Verstappen finally took the RB22 out on Friday. This is the first car, the very first car, to ever run a Red Bull Ford powertrain. And what did Max say when he got out of the car? Did he say it was lovely? Did he say it was a rocket ship? No. He said, there is still a lot of work to do. He said, it is a very complicated formula. Now, if you don't speak Max Verstappen, let me translate that for you. When Max is happy, he destroys the field by 20 seconds. When Max says it's complicated, it means the car is slow. It means the drivability is bad. It means the correlation is wrong. And for the first time in a long time, the reports are confirming our biggest fear. Red Bull is not entering 2026 as the favorite. Think about the weight of that statement. For the last 4 years, Red Bull has been the gold standard. They were invincible. And now, suddenly, they are chasing. So, the question we have to ask today, the question that costs billions of dollars, is simple. Did Ford just ruin Red Bull? Or did Red Bull arrogance finally catch up with them? To understand this mess, we have to go back to the beginning of the week in Barcelona. It was supposed to be a showcase. But look at the timeline. It was a disaster. Monday, they gave the car to the rookie, Isack Hadjar. Okay, fine. Gathering data. Tuesday, the weather was unstable, so Max barely ran. Bad luck, sure. But then came Thursday afternoon. Disaster struck. Isack Hadjar crashed the RB22. He put the most important car in Red Bull's history into the wall. Now, crashes happen. But when you are a new engine manufacturer, when every single lap is vital to understand how the battery deploys energy, a crash isn't just a repair bill. It's a data blackout. They lost precious hours. And when Max finally jumped in on Friday to do his 118 laps, the mood wasn't confident, it was desperate catch-up. And this brings us to the engine, the Ford partnership. Let's be real, this was always a massive gamble. Red Bull has been a chassis company for 20 years. They bought engines from Renault, they bought engines from Ferrari, they partnered with Honda, but they never built the heart of the beast, until now. They decided to become a manufacturer. They built a factory from scratch in Milton Keynes. They signed a deal with Ford, largely for branding and battery tech. But here is the ugly truth about 2026. The engine is not just an engine anymore, it is a 50-50 split. 50% internal combustion, 50% electric. It is a monster. And if the Ford side of that equation, the electric side, isn't delivering the torque instantly, the car feels heavy, it feels sluggish. And listening to Max's interviews, describing the work in progress, you get the feeling that the seamless power delivery they had with Honda just isn't there yet. Compare this to the rumors coming out of the other garages. Mercedes has been working on this 2026 engine since before the rules were even finalized. Ferrari lives for engine regulations. Audi has been preparing for 3 years. And Red Bull? They are doing this for the first time. Effectively alone, with a partner in Ford that hasn't been in F1 in 2 decades. Are we surprised? Maybe we shouldn't be? Look at the history of big manufacturers coming into F1. Toyota, failure. BMW, failure. Jaguar, which was literally owned by Ford, was such a failure that they sold the team to Red Bull for $1. There is a curse here, and I'm starting to wonder if putting a Ford sticker on a Red Bull engine was the moment the dynasty ended. But it's not just the engine, it's the distractions. While the engineers were trying to figure out this complicated formula, the team was eating itself alive from the inside. We had the Civil War, we had Newey leaving, we had Wheatley leaving. Brain drain is real. You cannot lose the greatest designer in history and the best sporting director in history and expect to build a revolutionary car without hiccups. And Max knows this. Look at his face in the paddock photos. He doesn't look angry. He looks resigned. He looks like a man who warned them. Remember when he said, "If the engine isn't good, I'm gone"? Well, the engine is here, and he's saying there is a lot of work to do. That is code for fix this, or I'm calling Toto Wolff. Let's talk about the RB22 itself, the chassis. Even if the engine was good, the 2026 aero rules are a nightmare. Active aero, the wings moving on the straights, it requires perfect balance. If the engine doesn't deliver the power exactly when the wings open, the car becomes unstable. It becomes a handful. Hadjar's crash might not have been just a rookie mistake. It might have been a sign that the car is unpredictable. And if the car is unpredictable, not even Max Verstappen can save you. Now, I know what the Red Bull fans are going to say in the comments. It's just testing. Max is sandbagging. Never doubt Newey's old team. And listen, I hope you're right. I want a title fight. I don't want to see Mercedes dominate for another 8 years. But we have to be objective. Testing is where you see the body language. Testing is where you see the reliability. And right now, Red Bull looks like a team that is reacting to problems, not dictating the pace. The article from Barcelona confirms it. The Austrian team does not enter 2026 as the favourite. Read that again. The team that won everything is now the underdog. That is a seismic shift. That changes everything. It changes the driver market. It changes the betting odds. It changes the entire narrative of the sport. So, here is the brutal reality. Ford didn't just buy a sticker on the side of the car, they bought a reputation. If this engine fails, if Max Verstappen spends 2026 fighting for P5, the Ford brand takes the hit. And Red Bull, they risk going back to the dark ages. The years before Max, the years of frustration. We are watching a high-stakes poker game. Christian Horner went all in. He bet the farm on Red Bull powertrains. He bet the farm on Ford. And after week 1 in Barcelona, looking at the lap times, looking at the crash, and listening to Max's hesitation, it looks like he might have a bad hand. But it's F1. Things change fast. Maybe they have an upgrade package coming. Maybe they were running heavy fuel. Maybe they are hiding the true performance. But my gut tells me, this time, it's different. My gut tells me the panic is real. I want to know what you think. Seriously, look at the data. Look at the quotes. Do you trust Ford to build a championship engine in their first try? Or do you think Red Bull made a massive mistake leaving Honda? And be honest, if this car is a tractor, does Max leave for Mercedes in 2027? Drop your prediction in the comments. I'm gonna be reading all of them because this debate is just getting started. And if you want to know why the 2026 rules are so dangerous, click this video right here. I'll see you there.